Be Wealthy and Smart, episode 863.
Step into a world of wealth and financial freedom without budgets, boredom, or bosses on Be Wealthy and Smart. And now, here's your host, Linda P. Jones.
Welcome to Be Wealthy and Smart. I'm Linda P. Jones, America's Wealth Mentor, empowering women and men worldwide to financial freedom. On today's show, we're going to talk about billionaire Mark Cuban and why he knew his business was going to be a success. And I have a few other things to talk with you about, but this article seemed really important to me for a lot of reasons. Some of it is mindset, some of it is about becoming a billionaire, and some of it is about a repeat of the cycle of the technology/internet days that we're experiencing right now with cryptocurrency. So I want to talk with you about a few things as we go through this article. But this comes to us from CNBC and it was written by Taylor Locke. And it says, Mark Cuban on the company that made him a billionaire. Why I knew it would succeed despite many naysayers. And the article says, in the mid-1990s, just before the dot-com bubble, Mark Cuban was approached by a friend about a business idea. As a fellow sports fan, his friend, Todd Wagner, pitched Cuban that it would be lucrative to start an internet audio company where users could listen to sports games online. Sold on the possibilities, Cuban agreed, and in 1995 the duo created AudioNet, which later became Broadcast.com. At the time, the internet was a very new concept to most people, so Cuban and Wagner faced many critics who didn't believe the company would succeed. When I'd tell people the vision, they'd say, "You're crazy. I'll just turn on my TV. I'll just turn on the radio," Cuban said in a recent episode of the Starting Greatness podcast. People would laugh at me, but that didn't matter to Cuban. I knew this was a winner, Cuban said of Broadcast.com. I had no doubt in my mind. For one thing, Cuban saw a market for streaming, which we called network broadcasting or internet broadcasting back then, he told Starting Greatness. Cuban said he firmly believed that streaming would take over all of television because he believed in the price-performance curve for PCs, personal computers, and broadband, and that as PCs would continue to get more powerful, the price of disk drives and the bandwidth would continue to fall. That, Cuban said, was a fundamental underpinning for streaming. I had that vision that we would follow this path. Once the co-founders started to market the company, Cuban said he noticed a growing demand from those who wanted to listen to sports games or music during their workday, but couldn't keep a radio on at their desk. I saw very quickly that user adoption was enormous, Cuban said. No one used it and said they don't need it. Then, as Broadcast.com added the ability to watch video with audio, most of our revenue came from corporate events, streaming, and all-hands meetings, he said. That was the real moneymaker for us. Broadcast.com also had a growing consumer base because it was simple to use. I knew that in order for you to listen to University of Oklahoma sports, I was the path of least resistance, Cuban said. I knew that anyone who wanted to watch or listen to a Mavericks game, I was the path of least resistance. There may have been some competing to try and do the same thing and copy us, but we were the only path of least resistance. In 1999, Broadcast.com was acquired by Yahoo for $5.7 billion in stock. That's why Cuban said, if you have the technology working in your favor, if you're the path of least resistance, and if you have consumption, then you just got to go for it. These are the pieces that create a moat that are really hard to replicate. The experience led Cuban to be more open-minded and trust his gut to invest in companies or ideas that others may find crazy, he said. Today, that includes his investments in companies centered around cryptocurrency and blockchain. Investing in those companies today has the same feel of the early days of the internet, Cuban said, Starting Greatness. You've got to really believe in your product to succeed. End of article. Well, boy, do I have things to say about this. First of all, I was very present in those internet technology days, and I remember when broadcast.com came into being and how different it was to watch essentially television on your computer or to listen to it through your computer. And that was a whole new different thing. And it just gave another outlet to what we were already doing, which was watching sports on TV. But this gave us a mobile way to do it, a way to do it with our PC when we took our PC anywhere, and then when we later had mobile phones and we could take our phones anywhere. So it gave us more mobility, it gave us access to something that before we could only access at home in front of a television set. So he was providing broader distribution. Now, what he had to say about having confidence in what he was doing and that he really believed that he was going to be successful, even though other people thought he was crazy, well, that's that certainty of mindset that I always talk about. That's part of the wealthy mindset, is having the certainty that what you're doing is going to succeed, that you are going to break through, you are going to be the company that has success, in spite of others trying to copy or imitate. And the confidence he had wasn't just confidence in nothing. It was confidence because he saw the adoption by consumers. So he saw that people really wanted what he had for sale and that kept growing. And then he had confidence that he had the winning ticket. And now, just like then, he's investing in things like non-fungible token exchanges, NFT exchanges, where unique digital images are going to be auctioned on an exchange. We talked about that in an earlier podcast, how he's an early investor in an NFT exchange. And there's artworks and music and lots of different things that are offered through this NFT exchange that he's invested in. That's probably another new technology that people might think he's crazy for investing in, but I just think he's an early investor. I think he's an early adopter, and he finds technologies that are going to be extremely big, and he invests in them early when they're small. But he can see the adoption is massive and fast, and there's already massive growing adoption for non-fungible tokens and these unique works of art, unique videos, unique records, music, songs. There's all kinds of things already being offered as non-fungible tokens. And by the way, whoever came up with that term, non-fungible token, really ought to rethink it, because that is a horrible, horrible marketing term. So finally, he talked about cryptocurrency and blockchain. And of course, he has lots of investments in that as well. And he has opened up the Mavericks payment system to cryptocurrency, and he's accepting Dogecoin as a form of payment to attend a Mavericks game. Is Mark crazy or just an early adopter? I say he's not crazy. Crazy like a fox, maybe, but he is an early adopter of technology. He sees that cryptocurrencies are going to be used as a form of payment, and he's selected one that he's comfortable with using right now. Strangely, or maybe not strangely, Elon Musk has also talked about Dogecoin and tweeted about Dogecoin. So two very high-profile billionaires involved in technology are both talking about the same cryptocurrency. And it's not Bitcoin, it's Dogecoin. What I believe to be true about cryptocurrency is it is a future digital currency payment system, much more efficient than the payment systems we currently have. And some of them consume much less energy than some of our current payment systems as well. And they're faster and less expensive per transaction. All of that is a good reason for a big step forward in technology with payments and cryptocurrency, in my opinion. And blockchain is simply a way to record it all and make sure that it doesn't get hacked and it is verifiable. So we don't have situations of piracy or theft or forgeries or plagiarism. So I think, once again, Mark Cuban is on the cutting edge, knows what he's doing, is an early adopter in technology that's going to be a lot more valuable 5 and 10 years from now than it is today. If you haven't yet subscribed to Be Wealthy and Smart, Hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified as soon as new podcasts are available so you never miss one of them. And if you're interested in learning more about wealth building, get my book, You're Already a Wealth Heiress, Now Think and Act Like One, 6 Practical Steps to Make It a Reality Now. In my book, I show you the wealth building formula and how to get to financial freedom. Give you the Wealth Heiress Checklist, the Millionaire Action Plan, and men love this book too. It was named to the list of all-time best wealth books by Book Authority, and you can find it on Amazon or at any local bookstore. That's all for today. Until next time, live the good life and be wealthy and smart.
Thank you for listening to Be Wealthy and Smart with Linda P. Jones. Share the wealth and tell your family and friends about the show. Check out our website, blog, and social media for more riches at www.bewealthyandsmart.com.